But we here where it's the character. Okay, so the dose units, CXDOSU, obviously what does the dose units, like it's a nanogram, microgram, mg per kg, mg per meter square, whatever the units you have, so that we can put it EX dose U. And then EX dose frequency, EX DOS, not dose frequency, it's a form, dose form. So EX DOS form, obviously there it's a CM dose form. What was the dose form? Obviously tablet, lotion, injection, whatever the dose form is there, that we can map to here. EX dose frequency. Dosing frequency, obviously. What is the frequency? What we discussed on concomitant medication. Did anyone remember? What is the frequency? What kind of data is they are going to map to the frequency variable? EX DOS FRQ, I mean dose frequency. And then CM DOS FRQ. Both are same variables. What happened? No one knows?
How many times per day?
Right, that's correct. How many times the subject took that drug for the per day? So obviously not per day. How many times he took that? For example, times daily once, daily twice, daily thrice, weekly once, bi-weekly, monthly once. So these all are the frequencies. Okay. So that is somehow we are mapping to here dose frequency. And then dose regimen. Okay. How it is the regimen is means, for example, the subject took continuously 2 weeks on. Mean continuously took the 2 weeks and then 2 weeks off. So that we can dose regimen, we can say. Dose route, EX route, okay? EX route. There we have the CM route. So if you can see these all are variables is exactly same with the EX. Sorry, CM. So not only this one, you can go the substance use, exposure as collected, all the intervention variables will have like this only. But because we are talking about the somewhat drug related, that might be the test drug, that might be the concomitant medication, that might be the substance use, whatever it may be. The next route, obviously route of the drug administration. So it's a might be oral or intravenous, okay, whatever the like route of the drug administration, that we can put it here. The laterality, I mean sorry, not lot number, EXLOT. Lot number means it's somehow whenever you open any drug or injection anything, so in that particular pack there will be a like lot numbers. Okay, when it was manufactured, that the I mean the sponsor has to produce that lot number, so that lot number is going to be mapped here. EXLOC, location of the dose administration. So in the which body part it is, for example it's a injection in the body, which body part of the injection was given, like arm, lip, whatever it may be. Okay, so this is the location of the particular drug. And the laterality. Laterality means, for example, sometimes if the injection is given, so we said that arm. Which arm? Right arm or left arm? Which? That is the laterality. Okay. So the we here the laterality we can get the values left, right, sometimes bilateral. Bilateral means both sides. Okay. So the EX directionality. So the directionality is nothing but sometimes okay, anterior, lower, proximal, upper. This is will say the direction of the particular drug administration. Okay. So the EX fasting. Fasting status. Fasting status means, for example, some of the drugs they have given in the fasting condition. Okay. So if you go and for the doctor some reason, so they'll give some kind of medication, take in the empty stomach. Okay, he will he will doctor will prescribe that. Okay, so this medication you should take in the empty stomach in the fasting condition. Okay, so the likewise if there are any drugs with the exposure as this is test drugs needs to take in the fasting condition, then that value should be the y, otherwise it's n or missing. EXADJ, reason for the dose adjustment. Okay, sometimes if you remember in the adverse event variable, action taken, AEACN variable. So there you can get the values, okay, like action taken, dose reduced, dose not changed, dose increased, dose modified. These are the values comes in the adverse event AEACN variable. So for example, here is the AEXADJ, reason for the adjustment. Okay, so if the dose is adjustment, So what is the reason? Obviously, if it's a reason is the adverse event, then we need to put the adverse event. If there are any other reasons to adjustment of dose, then they can investigator put the reasons. So the epoch is somehow it is a phase of the particular study. So I mean, for now you just remember the epoch. For the epoch we have the specific class. Okay, so how we can define the epoch? Okay, that we will discuss. Okay, so if you want to understand the epoch, first you need to understand the element. So element is nothing but it's a building block of your clinical trials. Okay, so the multiple elements will form together a epoch, or an individual element can act as a epoch. Okay, so that I will discuss in details in the future classes. Okay, so the EXSTDTC, so obviously exposure start date, so when it was started. EXENDTC obviously is exposure end date, when it was end. So obviously we have the two variable date variables, means we'll have the study day calculation for the two, EXSTDY, EXENDY. Okay, so this is somehow we are going to compare with the RFSTDTC from DM. Okay. So the next EXDUR. DUR is nothing but the duration. Okay. Sometimes we might give the durations. Okay. So that duration, if there are any. And then EXTPT. Obviously, there any time points, pre-dose, post-dose, or the visit one, visit two. If there are any specific time points is captured in the study, then these will be particular TPT. TPT num, obviously each and every TPT will have one numeric number, so that is the TPT num. And then EXELTM, elapsed time. Okay, this is the elapsed time is nothing but, okay, so what was the time point? For example, this is the time point, we can put it into the ISO 8601 format. Okay, elapsed time point we can say, which is nothing but we already seen in the previous domains. Okay, for example, time point is the 2 hours, but we can say the PT2H. For example, time point is the 5 hours, PT 5H. For example, time point is the 6 hours 30 minutes, PT 6H 30M. For example, time point is the pre-dose 2 hours. Okay. So then P minus PT 2H. Minus PT means pre-dose. Okay. So the PT is the normal post-dose. Okay. PT is nothing but the period of time. Okay, so that is somehow the elapsed time we can represent. Okay, based on your time point. So the EXTPTRF, EXRFTDTC, these two are the reference to the particular time point. For example, so EXTPTRF, it might be the previous dose or previous meal. So they want to give any particular milestone as a reference. That milestone is going to do the EXTPTRF. That particular milestone date will come to the RFTDTC. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, if they said that this is the previous dose for the EXTPT reference, when it was happened the previous dose, that date will come to the EXRFTDTC. That's it. Yeah, if you can see the 80% of the variable, 80 or I mean more than 90% of the variable same as it is in the CM. Is there any differences? No, right? There are few. I think 4 variables are new to the EX. So that's about the EX. Is there any questions from anyone? Is that clear to discuss in future? So we have to discuss about CRF annotation, specification writing, how we are going to do the programming for all these. Then you will day by day will familiar with these concepts. Okay, but at this moment you have thorough with your each and every domain variables. What is variables, and then in that what kind of data is going to map. Okay, and what is your domain variable assumptions. Okay, these are the assumptions you should understand very clearly, that then only it will be useful for the future classes. Okay, so the next EC also pretty much same, you can also read it. Okay, so 1 second. This EC also similar, like if you can see one record for protocol specified treatment, collected dosing interval, obviously what has collected. So if you can see the same variable, instead of EC you will have the EX. Okay, so this is the EC, group ID, ref ID, sponsor ID, link ID, group ID, ECTRT. EC mode is a somewhat new variable in the EC. Okay, so the EC mode is nothing but, okay, so mode of the condition of the record specifying whether the intervention activity is intended to happen has happened. So the value aligned with the bridge pillars. Example, scheduled contest, performed contest. And And then HL7 activity mode, the example schedule performed series control terminology request to move from this to the scheduled. Okay. So this is the EC mode is nothing but, for example, this is planned and performed. For example, subject took that drug, then it's a performed. Subject is supposed to take a drug, it's a planned, right? Scheduled. So that's what we'll get. The DC mode is nothing but, okay. So is this planned dose or it's a actually taken dose? That is somewhat different here, the EC mode variable. So the EC cat, S cat, obviously category, subcategory. So the EC press spend occurs. So, okay, if you can see in the CM also, we will have these two variables. So this is the pre-spend. In the CRF, the dose was taken, this much dose was taken or not. If that is the question specified. So the pre-specified would be obviously yes, and then occur would be the occurrence. It's yes or no. It's happened. So the next EX dose text, obviously EC dose text. Okay. So this is the numeric variable, and then this is the numeric character version of your dose. So then EC dose units, dose form, dose frequency. So these are the same variable. And then this is the EC daily dose. Okay. For example, subject to that, okay, multiple doses in the same day. What is the total dose for the day? This is okay. So again, then intended dose regimen. What was the dose regimen? And then what is the route? Okay, this is the lot number again. Location. Okay, laterality, directionality. Okay, then EC, POR, TOT, the portion of totality. Okay. So for example, here we can that entire single segment. So from the drug, it took that entire portion or a single or segment. So it's a kind of very rare, permissible variable, but depends on the study specific. Okay. So how he consumed the entire drug or the single portions and the single segment. That's what. So the EC first is again the same variable. Okay. So the ECPSTRG, this is pharmaceutical strength. Okay, so what is the pharmaceutical strength? Means among the activity integrated expressed qualitative for the dosage unit for the volume for the unit of the weight according to the pharmaceutical dose form. So basically, this variable is the pharmaceutical strength related. So most of the cases it will not capture, but if it's captured, we can map it. So then the pharmaceutical strength units, what was the units? Okay, for example, tablet, mg. So that is that. Okay. The next ECA is obviously reason for the dose adjustment. What we have the X like the same. Epoch is the same. ECSDTC, ECENDTC, ECSDY, ECENDY. So these are the same variables, duration and then TPT, TPT num, elapsed time, and TPT ref, RFTDTs. So if you can see the entire, except the two variables, entire as it is from the EC and the EX. Okay. So it means if you can remember the variable naming convention, it would be easy for you to entire class. Is that clear or you have any questions on EC? So you deserve for occurrence of the study, how many procedures did for the subject, how many times, that will come those many records. Okay. So here also, sir, there are few specific variables, otherwise variables should be similar. These three are the your identifiers already, you know. So the group ID, sponsor ID, link group ID, obviously you know. So this is the PRTRT, obviously the name of the particular procedure or treatment name. And then PRD code, okay, that is the standardized decode name. This is a synonym qualifier. For the same treatment name, we'll have the standard decode value that is going to map it here. Okay. So the category S category and then press occur. Okay, obviously this will be pre-specified in the CRF. Then that will comes to the press is Y, and then if it's occur, then Y, otherwise it's no. So the PRI, and this is the indication. What was the indication for this procedure? Okay, this particular why this was procedure done, that indication is going to map here. PR dose, what was the dose for this particular thing, and then dose text as well, PR. Okay. So the dose units, dose form, dose frequency, dose regimen, dose route, location, laterality, directionality, okay, portion or totality, and then visit num, visit device. So then PR STDTC, PR ENDC, and PR STDY, PR ENDY, PR duration. So the PR TPT, TPT num, elapsed time, RFTDTC, reference this one, PR STR TPT, PR STPT. So here somehow you have along with the normal procedure time points. Okay, PRTPT will have the PRSTTP. Okay, STRTPT. So this is the procedure somehow giving for the start of the procedure. Okay, this is the planned time point name and all. This is the normal one. But this is the somehow start relative to the reference time point. When this was started, I think it's a before or coincidence or after or unknown. So these are the values will come. So again the start reference time point. Okay, again this procedure when it was started, it's somehow given to the particular milestone, visit or the particular date or somehow. So the PRENTR, I mean ENRTPT. So again we will the same. When it was ended, this was start procedure, this was end procedure reference. Okay, before coincidence, after ongoing you. So again the same values ongoing also will be there. So the end is that if the still procedure is continued, then we'll have the ongoing. If it's already ended, then we can give that reference. And then PRNTPT. So obviously that particular milestone value come here. Okay. So the only one thing is you will have here these 4 extra variables. For the start and end of a procedure also we have the time points. That's it. So except the similar, same kind of data, same as it is, there is no change. Okay. You can go and then refer these examples and all these things. Okay, so these are the some of the treatment related. Okay, so if you can see they asked heart transplant, endoscopy, prostate examination, reset broken arm, so wisdom teeth extraction. These are the some of the procedures, right? So that's it. Substance use, SU. Okay, so the substance use nothing but, as I said previously, the substance use nothing but, okay, apart from the concomitant medication, test drug, if there are any other kind of narcotic drugs, alcohol consumption, cigarette, cocaine, any narcotic drugs, okay, so these all are comes under substance use. Okay, these we are going to map it. But again, same here, this is something given to the subject treatment related, right? So then will come the same variable name convention. So if you go and check the structure, one record per substance type per reported occurrence, obviously. So these 4 variables, group ID, sponsor ID, SUTRD is nothing but the which substance, what is the substance, okay? Like if you can see the cigarette, coffee or alcohol, whatever it may be. So its subject is consumed, that is going to be substance use treatment name. So SU modify, I mean if that particular treatment, is there any modified name? So if there are any standard decode name as per the medical terminology. So that value, category and subcategory. So what kind of is this? For example, tobacco, alcohol, caffeine. These are the categories. Subcategories. For example, if it's alcohol, I mean tobacco means cigarettes is the, so cigars, cigarettes. These are the subcategories. For example, if it's alcohol, beer, wine, whatever, whiskey, whatever the things he or she consumed, that will comes to the substance use subcategory. Okay. So then presp and pre-spec. Some of the questions is already asked. Okay. I mean, the subject is consumed cigarette. The subject is consumed alcohol. Then these are the pre-specified questions. Then that record we need to create. Then pre-specified would be Y. If it's really consumed, then occurrence would be Y. Otherwise, it should be L. So the status, for example, this is the pre-specified, and then the result, the data was not captured. This is the status is not done. Why this was not captured? If it's not captured, it's not done, then what is the reason? So the reason is should be provided here. If it's not, whenever you go in SDTM, if there is a start variable, then we will have a reason variable. Okay. So status is the done, I mean not done. When it's not done, then only we can populate status not done. When it's not done, then we need to provide the reason why it's not done. So this is the SU class. I mean, what kind of these substance use this? Okay, and then subclass. Okay, substance use class code. So this is the, as per the medical dictionaries we can provide it. Okay, I mean, we are not going to update anything. We'll get in the data that we are going to map. So the dose, what kind of dose subject to the dose text, dose units, dose form, dose frequency, dose total. Okay, so then the dose total means, for example, if the subject is consumed 5 cigarettes a day, so the dose total is that 5 units would be obviously 5 cigarette number, right? So SU route, okay, obviously route. What is the route of this substance use administration? Substance use start date. and the end date. Start dy, end dy related. Okay, study day calculation. Duration. How much duration the substance use consume. Okay. And then start and end the references. Substance use when it was started, when it was ended. References. Again, it will be ongoing, before, prior, continuing. This will come values. Okay, when it was start, when it was ended, depending on the particular time point. This is the time point TPT, and then this is the this is the STR TPT, then ST TPT. Okay, so start relative to the reference time point and start reference time point. Okay, this will give to the particular response. I mean, particular milestone. What is that milestone? The date will get it here. Again, same specifically for the end point. Okay, this is the start, and then these two are the end reference. Okay, so yeah, so that's it for the substance use. Okay, you go and read this as a maximum variable. Okay, so when I'm explaining, if you've seen that, I'm not going to read like SU, DOS, TXT, something like that. I can say the dose text, dose units, dose form, dose frequency. Okay, so something like you can remember, that would be more than enough. Okay, so whenever I'm explaining SU, CLAS, SU, CLAS, CD, SU, DOSE, I'm not talking about these spellings and all these things. If you can remember, by default automatically will come. Okay, so even, I mean, if you can say this spelling, and then someone will think it, okay, what is this, what she's saying, what he's saying. You need to explain like, okay, status, reason, class,